and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. Today we are looking at slipping with yarn in front. Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. Yes, slipping with yarn in front, especially when you look at it in a jargon kind of way. WYIF. What are you talking about? Well, it's a lot simpler than it sounds, but you have to think about different things if you're knitting with yarn in front. If you're slipping with yarn in front on a knit row and on a purl row. So I've just got a couple of demos for you here, and then I'll show you some textures when it's all knitted up, and you'll see that it can really create a great effect over a longer piece of knitting. So if you think, oh, I'm just doing it and it looks so boring, once you've done a few rows, it is really going to look great. Make sure you watch the whole video then, because you'll see how it differs really a great deal when you're knitting slip with yarn in front on a knit row and slip with yarn in front on a purl row. It's amazing what a difference it makes, and it creates two completely different looks. Let's get to the demo then. Let's start with slipping with yarn in front on a knit row, and we're basically, once I've knitted this garter stitch border, we're basically going to do knit one, slip with yarn in front, knit one, slip with yarn in front, and I'll show you how that works here. So we're going to knit one, and then the yarn in front means that you move the yarn from the back to the front as if we were about to purl, and then we slip a stitch. So slipping a stitch so that you can knit it on the next row or purl it on the next row means that it has to sit on the needle exactly just like the others. So that means that it has to move from that needle as if you're about to purl it, so that the yarn, the loop of yarn, sits from the front on the right to the back at the left. There you go. So that's slipping a stitch. Now, because we want to knit a stitch, we have to move that yarn to the back and knit it. Now we're going to slip again, move the yarn to the front, slip that stitch as if you're about to purl it, move the yarn to the back and knit. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way along the row. Again, it's just remembering that when you slip it, it's as if you purl it. So it's going to sit on the needle exactly in the same way and form as the other stitches. And then you knit to the back. Slip with yarn in front, knit. Slip with yarn in front, knit. Slip with yarn in front, knit. And now I've got the garter stitch border, and I will just purl along the back. So we can just see that there, that the line of yarn is stretching across that stitch because we slipped it instead of doing anything particular with it. And then we have a knit stitch and then a line of yarn. It looks a bit like moss stitch. So I'm going to knit these 3 garter stitch border stitches. And now I'm going to purl one. And now I don't have to move the yarn because it's already in the front. I'm going to slip that stitch and purl the next stitch. Slip that stitch and purl the next stitch. Slip that stitch and purl the next stitch. I'm slipping as if I'm purling it, and then I'm purling the next stitch. Slip, purl, slip, purl, slip, purl. And I will just show you some samples to see how it looks over a longer piece of knitting. So this is slip with yarn in front in between knit stitches. It does look like moss stitch. You can just see that very gentle slope to it. I've done this over a 6 row pattern, so that the slips just happen diagonally. And that's quite a nice effect, I think. But it's very flat. There's certainly, it feels a bit weightier, it feels a bit thicker, so that's an idea. If you just want a slightly thicker scarf than a stocking stitch scarf would give you, then go for it. That would be a great way of just making it slightly thicker fabric. This is much thicker because it's purl, slip one in front, purl, slip one in front, and you can see those loops of yarn are much more prevalent because it's in between purl stitches and the yarn isn't moving from the back to the front. It's already there, so you can see it much more prominently. And on the back I've done purl rows, and on the front it's purl 1, slip with yarn in front. And you can do this as well on a round needle if you're knitting a cowl. Purl 1, slip with yarn in front, purl 1, slip with yarn in front, and then the next row you knit. And then you do purl 1, slip with yarn in front, purl 1, slip with yarn in front, and then you do a knit round. So this is ideal for circular needles. Really thick fabric, it's really nice. I definitely really do love this. I think I'm very tempted to make something with this now I've just knitted up this sample. I hope that was helpful, and wasn't that an amazing look once you've finished? I find that it looks so really good. The options with this, you can make fingerlets and mittens with this kind of fabric, cowls and scarves, and it does create a thicker fabric because you're slipping those stitches. It's kind of squashing the rows together, and it feels really thick and chunky. I really love that, especially if you need something that keeps you really, really warm. Now, if you would like to find out more about jargon demos, I have got a whole PDF you can download. It's a digital PDF, so you use it on your iPhone, your tablet, you can even use it on a laptop or desktop computer, and it's got all of my demonstrations linked on it. So you just have to click on the one that you want, and it will send you right over to YouTube or to my blog with the individual videos. I'm updating it regularly, so currently you'll see the last update that I did, and at the end of this month I will send you the new update with all of the new demos from May and June this year. Right, well I hope that's going to be helpful for you, and just as I hope this slip with yarn in front video was helpful too. I will see you again next week. Bye for now, thanks for joining me. Happy knitting.